This is a quick video to show you a little bit of how to use Google Docs if you're working with an editor so you can accept their changes and let them in the document and all that good stuff. So I'm going to share my screen. This is the document that we're working on in Google Docs. You can see I've inserted a title up here. If you don't have a title, just click up here. You can double click or you can highlight everything. There we go. And then you can type in another title, whatever you want, hit enter. That way you have a title. If you're trying to add someone, so let's say you have typed up your document here, your book, whatever, and you want to share it, you go up here to share. It says private only to me right now. So I click that and I'm going to add somebody else. So I'm going to add in my other email address. If you do that, you can say, here's the book. And right over here, I have myself in as an editor, and that's somebody who can make changes to the actual document. If you just want them to be able to see the document without making changes, click view, or if you just want them to read and be able to make comments, you can click commenter. But if I'm editing the document, then I want to be listed as an editor. So I would send this, and I should receive an email from myself that gives me access to this document. So now there are two people who can see it. So you can see everybody who has access here. Okay, now the editor can get in and edit the document. So let's pretend that they've already been in, they've gone through and done some editing. And you can see, move myself, you can see some of the stuff that they've commented on here. So there was no title. So it just said title. So the editor has given me a question. Can you add a title for this chapter? You can see some of it is questions over here in the right column. Some of it is stuff that they've changed. So you can see every single thing down through here. All right, so for this first one, can you add a title for this chapter? If I want to reply, I might say, sure, and then hit reply. So you can see a whole string of text back and forth here if you want. Or I can just go in and type, this is the title. And the reason it's showing up green is because I am suggesting as the author, I may want to change it to editing, which means that if I typed that in here, this is the title. It's not showing up green. So that means that I have commanded the document and I'm not suggesting, I'm the author. So everything that I want to change should be changed. I don't need to approve my own edits. And then move myself again. So right now I am listed as editing. If I wanted to go back to suggesting, that means that everything would show up as red lines, or in this case, green. So you can see like this is something that the editor typed in. This is something that the editor typed in that I have struck through. This is something that the editor removed. So back up here to the title, if I want to say this is the title, okay, I've already taken care of this. I can hit check and that disappears. Now they're not going to be able to see that I commented on it, but they will see that I've changed the title. And if I want to accept the title, I can just check the check mark. In Google Docs, you do have to go down through each individual item and click the check mark to approve them. You can't highlight everything and click approve. So for this one here, it looks like the editor added, then we went to the store. If I want to accept that, then I just click the check mark here. If I made a mistake, I can hit undo and bring it back. No, I don't like that change. So I'm going to hit X and it removes it. Makes it super simple. Down here, the editor has removed this. I can either say, hey, this isn't what I wanted to do. I need to keep this for some reason. I can reply to that. Or I can say, all right, I like that change. Check. And you see back. Okay, there was actually a comment on it too. So if the editor decides that they need to leave you a comment, like this is repeated. Oh, this is something that you say twice in this text. This is repeated. Okay, I understand that. So I can check that off. All right. Down here, they added this. So again, you can click the check mark and accept it, or say, we'll talk about the cats. Let's reject that. I don't care for that one. Now here, for this paragraph, the editor has said, can you explain this a little more? Now, if you're working on a document and your editor's like, yeah, please, go ahead and add to the document, that's fine. Or if you're not certain what you need to add, then you might want to click over here on this comment that they made and then go to the reply. And you might say, I started ballet when I was 4 years old. And I stopped when I was 15. Okay, that might be what they were looking for. And then you hit reply. Now the editor knows here's the additional information. So they can go in and make that tweak, whatever it is that they needed to adjust. And of course, if you finish the comment, you can always click check mark. Here, the editor thought that this was perfect. It was funny, made them laugh. So check mark. That makes it pretty simple, but you can see now that I have accepted changes, removed changes, but there's nothing left in the margin. And ideally, before you send it back to your editor, so if you're working with Aurora Borealis, then you would do 2 rounds of editing. So one with the editor, back to the author, back to the editor, back to the author. So I'm pretending that we're after the first round of editing right now. So when you send it back to the editor for round 2, this is ideally what it should look like. It should be clean unless you have some comments. If you yourself, the author, want to add in comments, let's say that this middle paragraph here, we weren't sure if this sounded good. When you highlight something, you see this little menu bar pop up. So I can add a comment and say, does this make sense? And then your editor can reply. So if you comment, then when your editor comes in, they can click on this and say, yes, I like it. And they can reply to you. So it works the same way. And then whenever you get it back, when you're finalizing the document, of course, you can check that off. So your document should look like this by the time you're done. I hope that was helpful. That is the basics of working in Google Docs when you're working with an editor.